Hello. Say hi.
Hi. Hello, mate.
So we decided to make this video after watching Kaylin and Lucy and Rose and Rosie.
In tribute to people with British accents, yes.
Seriously, it seems like we've been watching a lot of people with accents lately. Russell Brand is my favorite.
Yeah. We just watched a movie called Arthur.
Yeah.
And I tend to be a little bit sensitive to media and whatever,
is funny or cute or happy.
I'm just in general a highly sensitive individual, so
So Lilo and Stitch makes her cry.
Lilo and Stitch is very sad. The entire movie.
Okay, Bridesmaids makes her cry.
It wasn't Bridesmaids. It was when she was watching the movie Castaways and he lost his volleyball.
For 5 seconds.
But it just
they
made
were watching Castaway.
But it was his only friend.
It was his voice for 5 seconds. He said Wilson twice.
Wilson! I'm sorry!
It wasn't that sad.
It was so sad that I cried for like an hour. Lilo and Stitch, I really cried. And just now I just cried to Arthur because Hobbs dies. And it was his only friend. Just like in Lilo and Stitch. It was her only family. And the entire movie she's at risk for being taken away from her only family. So I don't see why you wouldn't cry about it.
I cried too.
See, she cried too. She's a really good girlfriend because She sometimes she'll cry with me, sometimes she'll rub my back, but mostly it's like this hysterical, like really weird,
like cry laughing.
Yeah, and
it's like sobbing and then laughing.
I'm sure our roommates are like,
what the fuck?
What kind of sex are they having down there?
That's so true.
Yeah, because I'm sobbing,
but it's hilarious.
But I'm laughing really hard because I don't understand why I'm sobbing. It just takes over me, Anyways, we know that I'm highly sensitive, but let's talk about Danny and how embarrassed she gets in usual circumstances. I mean, I guess not usual.
I get embarrassed about everything, I feel like.
In this relationship, I tend to try and push her.
My limits, my embarrassment limits.
Not to be
daily.
Not to be an asshole, but just to see, just to kind of prove to her in a sense, there's no reason for her to be embarrassed.
There is reason for me to be embarrassed.
We drove to Walmart late
every day
last night the other day because our dog took a piss on our blankets and our dryer just so happened to break, so we had no option. The laundromat wasn't open. We had to go to Walmart and purchase new bedding. I guess we must have been in a hell of a rush. We get all the way to Walmart. We're in the car park.
The car park? We were in the car park.
Remember when I took you to heaven?
This is true. You took me to heaven this morning, I remember.
You tried to take me to heaven on our first date. You told all your friends you were going to take me to heaven.
I did. It was our second date.
Anyways, so on our date to Walmart the other day.
You weren't on the date to Walmart. We hate Walmart, by the way. I feel like we've been there so much lately. It's the worst.
So yeah, we're in the parking lot. It usually takes me a while to park.
Oh my god, yes.
This is about her anyways, but
we're not going to get started on Brittany's driving. That's a whole other...
There's nothing wrong with my driving. Something wrong with my parking.
Your driving.
What?
You're a good driver. You're a great driver. She drove us here from Oregon. I can't complain. Safely. Oh, minus the stuck in a hotel overnight because the car broke.
We should probably stick to one story at a time.
Okay.
We'll get back to why we were stuck in bumfuck nowhere. But let's begin at why we were stuck in the Walmart parking lot. And that's because I opened up my door to get ready to go into Walmart, the Jolly Land of Wally. And Danny opens up her car door.
No, we hate Walmart.
And she looks down at her feet and is just absolutely distraught to realize she wore her slippers to Walmart. I mean, that's not a big deal to most people.
Deal.
They're like,
no.
oh, well,
It's a
thank
big
God.
deal
Thank
to
God it's
everyone.
Walmart, not a fine dining restaurant where I forgot to wear shoes
Okay.
that aren't slippers.
But you can go somewhere and you don't want to look like the people around you. I can go to a fine dining restaurant. I want to look like the people who are fine dining. I don't want to fit in at, like,
Walmart.
the ghettoest place in the world. The most trashy.
Well, this is what
place.
I don't understand. She was
Brittany
so
was like,
distraught.
you fit right in. And I was like, great, let's go. We need to leave now.
She was,
Abort new bedding mission. Mission aborted. We need to go.
She was
figure
so embarrassed.
This
She was like,
shoe
I can't go
situation
in here. I'm wearing my slippers. I don't know what to do. She was like, I feel like everybody's looking at me. And I'm
Everyone was looking at me.
like, no, you're blending in. Nobody noticed.
You called me a Walmartian. Oh. Is that what you called me? A Walmartian?
You look like a true Walmartian.
Oh, God.
She did look
Kill
like a
me
true
now.
Walmartian. And then she got even more of a Walmartian when I convinced her that we could solve the entire issue if we go to the shoe shack.
Embarrassing.
Shoe shacks.
Shoe section.
If we go to the
Just forget it. The aisle.
the shoe
The
aisle
aisle.
and buy her a new pair of shoes just so that she could walk around in them. And she wears a size 7. They only had a size
Nobody
6.
has size 7 anywhere.
And she insisted that the size 6 worked fine. I think that, and you know, the truth, or the reality of the situation is that she would much rather walk around in much
They're like
an insanely
Chinese
uncomfortable
shoes. Chinese feet shrinking shoes.
shiny street shrinking shoes.
Feet shrinking shoes.
She'd
That you
rather do
wear
that than walk
as a
around
baby.
in comfortable slippers
They were
in
baby
Walmart.
Chinese.
I kept
feet
looking at her as we're
shoes.
walking around the store. She just looks uncomfortable and she's wobbling like a
I
penguin.
was
I said, baby, you know them shoes uncomfortable. She was like, nah, they comfortable. They're the most comfortable shoes. I was like, all right. I looked down at her feet and it looked like they were like,
I said, do my feet look 10 sizes smaller? Because now when I look at them from my view of my sweatpants, my big sweatpants, my feet look extra tiny than they did. It was
Yeah.
embarrassing. It was just entirely an embarrassing trip to Walmart.
to me,
The
I would have been like,
worst.
shit, I wore my slippers in Walmart. I guess it's going to be a motherfucking
It's not
comfortable
even
trip,
that.
isn't it?
No. It's like, for one, you blended. For two,
I blended?
disgusting.
They call me a Walmart?
No, you called me that. I never would call you that. That would be the biggest insult
Oh, speaking of
of
insult,
my life.
I wore my Crocs to
Oh,
to Walmart. I have Crocs because I cook and I like to sometimes cook in Crocs.
She loves her Crocs.
They're comfortable shoes when you have to be standing on your feet in a hot kitchen. Granted, they're
Hideous.
not that stylish or whatever, but you know, who needs to be stylish when you're blending in? So, I was like, alright, babe, you know, like, I'll switch shoes with you. Like, I'll wear your slippers. Like, I really don't care. You can wear my Crocs.
I looked down and I was like, no, that's way
No,
more embarrassing.
That's worse than wearing slippers. That's way worse than wearing slippers. Like, I will never wear Crocs. And I was like,
I won't. / they're like 10,000 sizes too big. So my options were too big and ugly or too small and kind of cute.
and apparently my feet are 10,000 sizes too big for you.
Those shoes are too big for you. They're not just too big for me. They're 2 sizes too big for you. You hurt your toes walking in them
At
every
least
day.
my toes were like this.
My toes were fine.
Yeah. So
I returned them the next day.
we had to
So
go
I
back
spent
into
$10.
Walmart into
not
the
being
customer.
embarrassed.
We thought, oh, okay, this will probably be a painless
It was
Walmart
ridiculous.
experience. We just
Oh
need
my
to go to
God.
the customer service.
It was not.
We
There was
stood
a
in
fire
line.
truck outside.
First of all, there's a fire truck outside. We're standing in line, minding our own business, trying to distract ourselves from, Walmartians and whatnot.
And there was a police officer there.
A fire deputy or something weird. Somebody official, right?
He had a
walks
uniform.
up to the lady, the little customer service cashier, and is holding a used needle. I'd like to speak to one of your managers. Somebody in the back of your store was shooting up. Danny and I were like, we need
Get out!
we need to get the fuck out of here, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, it's too much.
Disgusting. Why no one should ever go to Walmart. Ever. Why did we go? Oh, our dog. We had to. We had no choice.
Yeah.
Literally. There was no bedding stores that were open. Other than Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shame. But we got a nice comforter out of it.
Oh, I do like this comforter.
I'm pleased.
It's really.
I'm very pleased.
It's simple. It's really light, for the warm evenings.
And cool. Cool evenings. So,
Yeah,
that was Walmart.
that was our story.
We hate Walmart. And not to mention, the same night. Is that when Garrett woke us up? Garrett woke me up.
Garrett's her brother.
My younger brother.
I don't know if he wants you to tell him.
He got wasted and I had to go pick him up. And then he threw up in my car. It was really gross.
He threw up in a
Sad.
bucket in her car.
But it smelled like...
And then Danny proceeds
Oh, God.
to get him into the house, onto the couch, brings the bucket in the house and sits it, I guess,
I set it
on
on
the
the kitchen table.
A bucket of vomit.
I couldn't dump it. It was too gross.
I was dead asleep and was awoken by the
in the
smell
other
of vomit.
room. The other room.
I just, Danny,
It was gross. I had to go
Sweetie.
take it outside.
did you
And then
did you bring a bucket
we
of vomit?
we had
in
to
the
wake
house?
up at 6:30 because my brother had to be somewhere. To wake him up, he was still drunk, and he was just hilarious. Brittany was throwing water at him and tickling his feet.
I wasn't throwing water at him. I thought briefly,
We set the alarm right by his head. He still didn't wake up.
dip your fingers in the water and spread them at him. He didn't even notice for the first 10 minutes until he was like, wow.
That was a rough 24 hours for me. I'm not gonna lie. I had a dog shit shoe incident
This is
before
kinda funny.
Walmart.
Our roommate stepped in a pile of dog shit. She took her shoes off and left them outside, and as the sprinklers go in, I guess the shoes
No,
filled up
it's
with...
been raining like insanely a lot every single day. So these shoes are full of water.
So
rainwater.
she moved them from the sidewalk to the top of the porch.
So they're by
On
us
the top
when we
step.
go smoke.
We step outside to smoke, and Danny sits down, and I guess she
I touched it with my leg.
so
The shoe.
she had dog
When I
shit
sat
water
down.
on her pants and her fingers, and Danny. Well, maybe you don't, but I know Danny. Danny was
disgusting.
distraught. She
I had to go
and-
change.
Yeah, she went and
wash
washed
my
her hands multiple
hands.
times, took off her pants, and she was so
I had to change
frustrated
pants.
when she came outside. She kicked the shoes.
The
When she kicked the shoes in
The
her
wa-
flip flops, she got the
water
water
came
all
out
over her feet.
on my feet. I have flip flops on.
So then she had to go wash her flip flops.
My feet smelled like feet. But you don't know what I mean by that. Like my feet don't smell like feet. They smell like my
Flowers.
lotion.
Her feet smelled like somebody else's feet. Is the point of her
Someone
story.
else's. So it was like double gross. I had to wash my feet and my flip flops. And then we went to Walmart.
Yeah, Danny had a rough day.
It was ridiculous.
All right, that's Brittany and Danny for you. See us next time and follow us on YouTube at
We don't know our username.
Danny and Brittany. .youtube.com.
That's not her name, is it?
We're probably going to give this another go because I have a feeling that when we rewatch this, you're going to think that we kind of rambled throughout it.
And we're not that funny, and we're probably not cut out for this. Tegan has a slipper.
15.